Hello and welcome. Today is that of the 17th day of November, 2016. Today I'm going to talk about some charts on Rudder's video, like a video reply. There used to be one on YouTube back in the day. 2008, 9, 10. Not anymore. It used to be, but I'm going to pretend today that there was. Also pretend on the upper left corner it says YouTube, broadcast yourself, and I wish that I could pretend that it's been 8 years and not much has changed. But no, that has been the case. But a little bit has changed as far as media. See, today, as far as YouTube, I can actually watch a game live. Something that is pretty cool to see. I can well, not this video, but I could go to a live casino right now and play blackjack and count cards while sitting on my couch or my chair or just doing whatever, like I'm at a real casino, and something I couldn't do before. And that's what I want to talk quickly about, is how things change. In 1995, 96, I started using the internet, but it was a ghost town back then, but there were people on it. And when I first started talking to people on the internet, it was wow. It was something that was the first time I ever talked to people from Australia and Malaysia and from Mexico and Peru and United States. Well, not first time from the States, but pretty much, yes, because it was the beginning of what we have. And 10 years ago, YouTube started. The information, like, of how so many truth movement things have started coming out, that there's a lot of people, including myself, that have been in this truth movement for, well, I'm in now 9 years and a couple months, now going on 10. And for myself, 3 years, third decade, I'm starting using this type of internet. Now, this is Drudder's video, gold, silver, Bitcoin stocks, and soaring US dollar. I want to go over some of these charts very quickly. Thanks for the video. It's really good. I'll put a link to it in the more information box. But this is the Bitcoin chart. However, this chart kind of scares me because it's like almost the exact same replica of silver from like 1974 to from January 2010. This is the move 1980, the big crash. Heck, this is even the 1997 quick move up to $8 that went back fast. 2008 high, up to 20, 21 actually, 8.5 here. And this is back up to 18 or so, 17. Notice it's down a bit from this today in US dollars. Now, Bitcoin, few things to think about. See, just imagine you played the game when it was like 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 bucks. And then you get out with over 10 times gains. And it can be very easy to do. You consider, let's just assume you bet like $60 on it. And then it's worth like, say, $7.80 at one when you got it, whatever, because you got it so cheap. Now you can go out and get a decent silver stack, or even a decent, you get some gold, fractional amounts. But look what you bet, $60, big deal. Same thing can happen today. You can make the bet. That's what the potential's there. Okay, so it goes to $4,000. That's like 6 times. If you can find someone that will sell it something for you, it'll win. Obviously, that's would have worked here to buy anywhere in here, and obviously, the one place I buy gold and silver from says they accept it. I've only ever had $10 worth of Bitcoins at one point, and it took me about 4 or 5 hours to put it into cash. Interesting, just going through a gambling site, and it was easily done. But anyway, I do find this chart very similar to that of the silver one, like that. This top's like around 1100, this low is about 200, so that's about 5.5 times. So that's what it's capable of doing on a retracement. So 5.5x on 11, and who knows if even 100,000 or 300,000 is possible on it. I don't know, but to me, it's just like a bet. You're making a bet like, how about this? You bet $200, I'll give you back 500. You get a flip of a coin, right? You're making a profitable bet, but you might lose everything. And if you bet, say, $200 and you don't care, so be it. And that's the same sort of way as I look at this as. It's something that could go to zero. Now, gold and silver, could it go to zero? Well, it's a tangible asset, so technically tangible assets could go to negative value because, for example, a house that's like 80, 90 years old that's being like broken down on a property would be like negative value. Would silver and gold ever get to that point? No, I doubt it. Like never. But that's just it. This is the Warren Buffett, Wilshire Hathaway or something like that. Like all stock markets have been up for so long, breaking new highs. And it's really interesting when you talk about stuff like the election. Oh, so minutes in, like we all expected or many expected Hillary to win this. Myself, I figured she was going to. I thought because the system was set up for her to win, even though she probably wasn't fairly going to win. However, Trump won and he was winning. Okay, so the markets fall 900 points on the high likelihood Trump's going to win. So in a situation of that, if you were to say, okay, the stock market ended up gaining 2,000 points from that point, or whatever it was. Well, then that means Hillary came back, right? No, Trump won. See, if the market would fall 900 because Trump is going to probably win, that means if he did win, you would expect another 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. If it was like, oh my God, almost definite, she's going to win like 3/4, 80%, it might only fall another 300 points because it was played into such, whatever. If it was 50%, then there'd be another 1,000-point fall. And see, a lot of this game system is set up where the market moving system, I know, is going to collapse. So therefore, it doesn't matter if gold has been crushed down to $5 or they've even moved it up to 50. It's all going to play out to the real market determining what gold and silver is actually worth. That day is coming, I think, shortly within our lifetime. That's what I think anyway. But with that being said, within something like this, if you're trying to bet on this market here, you know what? It's tough to bet to short this thing. It really is. Now, I lost my train of thought. There's something that I wanted to go over on what I was just saying. So I'm going to pause this and go back to it when I think about it. And the thought is that of what are the bankers capable of doing? Because we've seen all this stuff, and I was leading into it with, of course, the big move of whatever the gain in the Dow was. But is it possible that the club takes this silver chart and just brings it all the way down to like whatever they can do, like 6, 7, 5, 2, 12, I don't know. Just because they can do it. And because, hey, you know what, screw you, Donald Trump's in, yeah, we're in charge and we're going to do what we want to do. Now, I think because of the physical market, there's no way they can. But I really don't know, but I'm surprised that it's been able to be suppressed below 25, let alone 20, for as long as it has. So I don't know. I'm surprised it's taken the public minimum 8-9 years since the start of the YouTube truth movement of how stuff like currency 911 and so many other things are brought into play that have yet to been resolved. That really does surprise me. So that's why I say, for the most part, that I don't know. This is the gold chart priced in Canadian currency. And if you look at euros or Aussies, it's practically close to the same. In that uptrend, sideways. Okay, so be it. But it doesn't look as bad as it does in the United States. And I think that's why they've been bringing the US dollar up as high as they have. is so that they can make gold look so bad, because everyone shows gold in US dollars, even in other countries. And that confuses me. I mean, I'm watching the election. The only MSM non-sports stuff I've seen in like a coon's age recently, and they show gold in US dollars. When I buy gold and silver, I pay Canadian dollars for it. And if I sell it in Canadian dollars because I live there. And if you're in Australia, it should be the same thing. So if you're watching Australian media, you should see the gold price in Aussie dollars. And I don't know. I got it. If you're watching BBC, do they show it in euros and pounds? I don't know. I don't watch it. But it seems as if it just keeps the people away from knowing that it's not in a bad market. But it's not really all that bullish when you look at it. But it's not really bearish either, because it's in the upper part of what's been a sideways range now for about 6 years. That's been a long range for the most part. Anyway, and the final chart on here is the US dollar index. Such an easy reading chart to teach. Or I'm not a teacher, but I kind of am, but I'm kind of not. But if you're trying to teach charts and you're looking for something for like the first month of the first level, okay, upwards, you got the sideways, very clear range. I had Fibonacci at 98.56, so hit, retrace to where it was, back again. Heck, it might retrace a little bit higher to this point here, but it's probably set to go to that next level now, which you can calculate to be 106.60. Also good to note the failed move possibility. How would it play out if it does play? Well, it would probably mean a move up to about 102, 103-ish area, but quickly retrace back to this range area, and then have a decent amount of time at least within the range. And at that point, I would think it's going to eventually break below the lower end, because if there's a big move, oftentimes the failed move is going to happen first. So if this thing just breaks through, then that won't, I can't say oftentimes, a relatively decent amount of times that failed move happens first. So if this just keeps going up, then that won't be the case. It'll be its move. But if it goes up to like 102, and then 102.5 the next day, then the next day 101, next day 99.50, next day 100, next day 99.50, next day 100, next day 98, something. Okay, it's probably now looking like a failed breakout if something like that is to occur within the charts. So thank you for tuning in, and thank you, Dreader, for this video and with the diagnosis of the fibromyalgia. I think I pronounced that somewhat close. I hope things work out for you and able to get everything in order, because I know the medical system in Canada, being part of it myself, is not the funnest of things. And take care. Bye-bye.